Ooh-wee. All right. Hey, it's the truth, and I'm proving to you right now. Bottom line, we are all Adam and Eve. We have all disobeyed our parents at one point, intentionally. Or we have all been talked into something and we chose to do it anyway. So, bam, we are all Adam and Eve. Now that we've gotten that out the way, I just want to encourage you because excuse me, by the way, greetings and grace. Greetings and truth. Hey, because and I want to encourage you. And the reason why is because when you start to think about these things and when you start to think about the fact that, sometimes we can feel some type of way towards people, right? And there was a time I did not like Eve, I did not like Adam. I'm like, y'all goofy, but you know, we've all been goofy. And that's just the reality of the situation. So we're gonna talk about the fall of man because this is the reality. At some point in our lives, we have all sabotaged ourselves. And this one was a very huge one. And, there is that, of course, I know a lot of people debate or, theologians and everything like that. Somebody down the line would have done it. And that's the truth. Somebody would have done it. So here it is, right? Genesis chapter 3, the fall. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say, you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die. You will certainly not die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also now she took some and ate it, but there was no account that something happened at that point in time. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. So hold on, here's a second. So time out. Adam was with her. So for Adam, yo, hold on a second. Okay, so is what's being said that Adam was with her and he ate it. So she took some and ate it. So was Adam right there? I just want to know. I don't necessarily know, but like, bruh. Okay, I don't know. Then the eyes of both of them were open and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God. Man and his wife heard the Lord sound, heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, where are you? He answered, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? The man said, the woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it. Then the Lord said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said this to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity, between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. To the woman he said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. That means there was children, you guys, like a lot of people don't think that there was humans, other humans in the garden, but that for there to be pain in childbearing means that there was children before then. I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam, he said, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat of your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Verse 20. Adam named his wife Eve, because she would become the mother of all the living. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. And the Lord God said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and also take from the tree of life, and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So the Lord God banished him from the garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So there's a lot to to unpack. I mean, to be honest with you, there's so many sermons. There's so much that goes into this, and there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of books, and there's just a lot. There's a lot that goes into this, you guys. But ultimately, for God to say that they weren't supposed to eat from this tree because this tree was for us, and that tree meant eternal, and live forever and all those things like that. So there's a whole lot that is on the inside of that, and just the inside of this whole chapter. But the reality is, the fall of man. They fell into the trap, and they were sabotaged, and then they made a sabotaging type of decision, and that alone just messed things up. So I'm gonna pull up a little hot. It's time to let the long sleeve go. It's too hot for this. Hold on. There we go. No, no, don't allow. No, you open up your app and it'll be like allow. No, no, no. We don't want to allow. Okay. Let me see. Enmity. Oh, enmity. So I'll pull it up. I'm gonna read from my phone right here. Enmity, deep-seated, often mutual hatred, a feeling or state of hatred or animosity. Yo, that's so deep, man. A feeling of hostility or ill will as between enemies, antagonism, a feeling or condition of hostility, hatred, ill will, animosity. Wow. This is so deep because if we look at the world today, there is a lot of that between men and women. There is a lot of enmity, and you want to make sure that you're not part of that. You want to make sure that you are, in fact, a peacemaker, and you are spreading and sharing love, and you're sharing truth, and you're encouraging people to heal because we need each other. Men need women, women need men. That is fact. You know what I'm saying? In a world where there is a ton of stuff, a ton of confusion, and it's like this whole there's like a gender war, and people trying to wipe out men and women. It's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to encourage you to love people how they came into this world. Remind them that they are worthy, they deserve love, and even if they never received real love, that they deserve to receive real love. And they deserve to know who actually loves and cares about them. So I want to encourage you with that, because when you start to understand things like that, real love wouldn't want to encourage you to do something that's against what God has said, right? If there's a law and there's a command, why break it? You know? And you got to make sure that those laws that you're adhering to align with your principles. And what are your principles? I can't tell you what your principles are. I know what my principles are, but you need to know what your principles are. And you need to make sure that they align with not just your faith, but also your life and how you want to live, because that's the way to go. So be encouraged with that. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage your purpose. Don't sabotage your future. Do your very best to count the costs, weigh the options, assess your principles, and make healthier decisions. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to take more time, and that's okay, because guess what? Love is patient. And if you really love your purpose and you love, the future that God has for you, even though you can't see it or aren't experiencing it right then and there, you gotta love the process, man. Just take your time with it. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Ooh, it's hot. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.